guys, Jenna here, and I'm back at Mount Hood Village to do another tour of a tiny house they have here on the property. Now everybody's always asking, where can I find parking for my tiny house? There are a couple of options, and the one I'm going to showcase today is Mount Hood Village. So if you've been watching my channel, you already know a lot about this property, but just to recap, Mount Hood Village is 1 hour outside of Portland, Oregon, and they allow tiny houses to park here on the property for a monthly fee. They also have a handful of tiny houses available for nightly rentals. A third option is you can park your tiny house here and rent it out part-time when you're not using it, and that's what I currently do with my tiny house here on the property. Right now there are 10 tiny houses here at Mount Hood Village, but plenty of space for more. I already have several tiny house tours from Mount Hood Village on my channel, but I have never featured Zoe, so we're gonna go through her today. Let's go inside for a tour.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
So the first thing you'll notice when you come in the front door of Zoe is that there's a bump out that is very common in a lot of tiny houses that are built by Tumbleweed tiny homes. This model is called the Cypress, and it's the same model that I built my own tiny house off of. So it's funny coming in here because it actually feels a lot like home to me, but it's a completely different layout. So it shows you all the different things that you can do when you just change around the floor plan a little bit. For example, in this tiny house, they put the bump out on the opposite side of mine, which I think is actually really smart because when you're driving down the road, you want your front door to be on the passenger side of your vehicle, meaning if you have to pull over and get inside really quickly, it's actually easier to do that in this tiny house than it is in my tiny house, which I traveled with for over 25,000 miles. So here we have the bump out area that I was speaking of. They've just decided to put in a small couch that I think you can buy at Target, but there's plenty of space underneath it for parking your shoes. Now, if you were going to purchase a house like this, you could obviously put in a larger couch that comes all the way to the end of the bump out, so you have more lounging space if you want. I do love the view that Zoe has of the property. And today is a gorgeous sunny day, but you can see some of the other tiny houses out there, such as Scarlet and Lincoln, and then a nice view of the mountains in the back. Slightly to the right of the bump out, there's another little ottoman to put your feet up on or for an additional seating area. And they have the TV mounted to the wall, as well as the Mitsubishi mini split. You see this in a lot of tiny houses. This provides heat and air conditioning, so no matter what time of year, you're perfectly comfortable in here. We see the same kitchen in all of the Tumbleweed tiny houses that they have available for rent here at Mount Hood Village. It's just a simple setup with a deep sink and a 2-burner electric stovetop. They also have a mini fridge freezer and a coffee maker. I like the color scheme that they've gone with in Zoe, more so than some of the other tiny houses. The light blues and teals look really nice against the dark cork flooring. Across from the kitchen, there's a dining table for 2. Now this can fold down. You see this in a lot of tiny houses. I believe it's an IKEA table. So here's how you fold it down. Just remove the leaf, move the chairs out of the way. So the storage staircase is typical in a lot of the Tumbleweed models. This is used for storing clothes, as a pantry, or sometimes it's used for holding utilities such as the water tank and water heater. Over to the left of the staircase, we have the one and only closet in Zoe. And it is big enough to fit a suitcase, but if you have multiple people staying here, it can get a little tight. Pack accordingly, people. Downsize your travel wardrobe. Back of this tiny house has a small twin-size bedroom, as well as the bathroom. Like the other Tumbleweed models here on the property, there is a RV flush toilet, small sink, full-size shower, and a vanity. Now we'll head upstairs to the loft. So the loft has a queen-size bed with plenty of room for a nightstand over here. And at the foot of the bed, there's some extra space, which is a good spot to put your extra luggage or wardrobe items. It's a pretty big loft, actually. And trust me, you get used to it. Even if you're very tall, you learn to duck. I've been sleeping in a loft for 4 years now, and it's just fine. Humans are super adaptable creatures. Hope you guys enjoyed this short tour of Zoe. If you're interested in some of the other tiny houses here on the property, make sure to check out those tours in my playlist. Until next time, see you later.